Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for trusting us with your India-Pakistan experience and being here tonight to experience this amazing conversation we are going to have with these two iconic legends. I'm truly grateful that God's given me this opportunity to be here and get this chance to have this conversation with you all and put together this amazing experience for our clients. Thank you, everyone. And Dada, you know, we've known each other now for nearly more than 2 years. It's an amazing opportunity to get to know you really well. I think we'll kickstart first with, getting to understand how you started your career, how you were picked up for India first. And, the first memories that you have on putting on our jersey. And the next one, we'd love to know your first memory of the game that you played against Pakistan.
As it happens in India, our structure of domestic cricket has always been very strong. It's got stronger with time, but even when I started, and it was a long time ago in 1989, that's when I first played my first-class cricket at the age of 17, I think. So that's how I started, not knowing where it'll take me, what's the future in store, but just started because wanted to play the sport. And I actually got picked for first-class cricket after a good performance against Pakistan in the junior level. And in those days, fortunately, Pakistan used to come to India, and we would go to Pakistan to play cricket. And I remember as a 17-year-old, the under-19 internationals, and Pakistan had come to India under the leadership of Moin Khan and Wakar's colleague. They played a lot of cricket together. And I got an opportunity to play at the Wankhede Stadium in the second test of a 2-test series. I missed the first one because they were rotating players because it was a junior level test match and everybody had to get an opportunity. So they picked me for the second game and I got 100 against Pakistan. I remember I got 100 against Pakistan with a bat which was gifted to me by Moin.
Excellent.
So I still remember it was a CA bat and Moin was knocking with it. So I walked up to him and said, "Yaar, ye बहुत अच्छा sound है इस bat में." He said, "आपको चाहिए?" मैंने कहा, "हाँ, दे दे यार, मैं खेलता हूँ." I went straight away into the game with it, got 100. There was Mushtaq, there was Moin, there was Zahid Fazal, and there were many in that team, and that took me to first-class cricket. And then I kept playing first-class cricket, and in 2 years' time, they took me to Australia as a young boy for the tour, and that's how it started. That's my first experience with Pakistan at the junior level. And at the first experience, I knew they had bowlers who could bowl fast. And the one on my left actually bowled quick. And I knew from that day that if you wanted to play Pakistan, you had to be a good player of fast bowling.
Excellent. Wakar bhai, a warm welcome from all the Indians in the house.
Thank you very much.
I'll actually speak on behalf of all the Indians. I think your run-up is one of the best we've ever seen across cricket, across decades. And it wasn't only the run-up, it was what followed after that as well, right? Incredible bowling and a generation of amazing fast bowlers from Pakistan. Warm welcome. We're so happy to have you here. We'd love to understand your first memories, and how you got picked for the Pakistan squad and how it was playing with Mr. Imran Khan.
Good evening, everyone. There are so many stories floating around about me, how I played for Pakistan, actually. From, as you mentioned, from Imran Khan's mouth, yes, he's played a pivotal role in picking me. But I was playing, as Saurabh just mentioned, I played under 19 and I played under 17. I played with Jadeja and Mongias and all of that sort of under 19 I played for Pakistan. India toured Pakistan for 4 test matches, I remember, and it was a very well fought series. Under 19, the competition was always there. It was so hard fought series always. It doesn't matter what level you playing against each other. And I played that. Then I was picked for a department, United Bank, and I played for them. I played 6 first-class matches before getting picked for the probables, we were supposed to go to Sharjah. So I played those 6 first-class matches, and in those 6 matches, I picked up, I think, 36, 37 wickets in those. And I bowled quickly, and that's all I knew then. I never knew how to swing the ball. I knew nothing, to be very honest. Coming from a very small town, and just all I knew was just bowl quickly. And that's what Imran loved about me also, later on when I played for Pakistan. So I was in the camp in the 22 probables, and the selectors had to, not selectors, sorry. Imran had to pick the 15 out of that. So what happened, I was in the camp, and Imran was not well. Imran Bhai was not well. He was sick. He was having some fever or whatever, and he lives around 15 minutes from the Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore. So he was at home. So first 4 or 5 days he didn't turn up to the camp or nets, and I was anxiously waiting because I grew up watching him play and always wanted to meet him. Saw him on the telly, saw him here and there, but never met him before that, and anxiously waiting. Not coming. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, nothing happening. So then, in between that, there was a weekend in that where there was a break, no nets that day, and Indian Delhi 11 team was over in Pakistan. Delhi 11 was the winner of the first class domestic one-day champion, and Pakistan UBL was a domestic champion of first class level. And there was this game, I'm just going to tell you, the story is getting a little longer, but I'm going to just tell you how my destiny sort of played that big role. Salim Jaffer was the man who was playing for Pakistan those days, left-arm fast bowler, and he was regular in the Pakistan side. And because team was traveling 2-3 days later after that weekend game, and he was also in United Bank. And I'm not 100% sure, but he pulled out of that game, thinking that we're going to Sharjah 2-3 days later, and I don't want to take a risk of playing this, small game. I want to just go to Sharjah. And luckily, God gave me opportunity to play that match out of nowhere, and I bowled in that match. And Imran still at home, but luckily he watched that game on the telly. That game was televised, and he watched my first 4 overs on the television. I got hammered all over. Raman Lamba, the late Raman Lamba, I don't know if you guys remember, lovely guy. He smashed me all over the park. And the next thing, about half an hour later, Imran turns up at the Gaddafi Stadium, want to come and watch my rest of my overs. Really got impressed by that. And I was not sure why was he that impressed, because I got really smashed. And the very next day he came to the nets, and his first meeting with me was, he put his hand on my shoulder and he says, "Tum Sharjah ja rahe ho." And who got dropped? Salim Jaffer. Very, very sad, but that's how my journey started.
Thanks, Waqar bhai. Let's talk about both your debuts against, yours against Pakistan, yours against India. So, Friendship Series in Toronto was in 96, 97, 98, and was 96 the first time you faced Pakistan in international cricket?
Yes, but that wasn't the debut. That was the first time I played Waqar and Wasim in a cricket match. My debut was in England in 96, and we went in the first half of the season, and England did not want Pakistan in the first half of the season because they did not want to play Wasim and Waqar on green seaming pitches. So they bought India. In April. It was cold and freezing, and we finished in June, and then Pakistan came in June, and they forgot that Waqar and Wasim would reverse and hit Chris Lewis on the toe. When they bowled, the wicket was not important, and that's how good they were. And that's when I first played for India in 96, and then that year in September, October, we went to Toronto, and the first time I saw Wasim and Waqar. There had quite a few fast bowlers around as well, as they kept producing for the next 10 years. And that's how I first interacted with them. I was opening with Sachin in the one-day game, and both him and and Wasim were lethal. It was not a great wicket because Toronto is not a regular venue for cricket, and we played on a wicket which did a bit in the morning, and it was still red ball those days, not the differentiation.
It's a damp pitch.
Damp
Damp
pitches.
pitch, yeah.
You lose the toss means you're struggling as a bowler, because I kept getting 5 wickets in Canada, so you can imagine how the wickets were. You can imagine how the wickets were. So, and that was my first how I saw these two great bowlers. And then after that, we went to Pakistan. We went to Pakistan for 3 matches, Independence Cup, and Waqar played. Wasim wasn't there. I think Wasim was injured. And I'll tell you a small story. It was the white Kookaburra ball, and Waqar was steaming in Karachi. And why Pakistan produced best fast bowlers? Because they had the best batting wickets in the world. So as a bowler, you had to survive and you had to be really good. So the wicket in Karachi was like a road, and before I realized, me and Sachin had opened. I was batting 30, and I hit him for 4 fours. I said, no, they say he's the best in the world, but I hit him for 4 fours. But what happened after that? Once that ball got little older, not very old, 3-4 overs, he bowled a full toss. I saw him, and I wanted to hit straight, and I got beaten by this much. I said, no, life starts now. Life starts now. And I did get 96. He got me out, if you remember, at cover. We won that game. And then I realized that how good he is. On flat pitches, when nothing happens, Waqar creates good deliveries on those pitches. And county cricket, I've seen him bowl in county cricket to the English players. I think by the time they got to the batting crease, they were already half out, because they knew Waqar was bowling from that end. The new ball was difficult. The old ball was even more difficult. So there is no easy. The only time you were at ease with Waqar and Wasim when you were at the other end, at the non-striker end, and you watched them bowl. I'll tell you a story as this discussion goes on in '99 when they came to India. But Toronto was the first time I saw these two champions.
Just want to add on to this story about Toronto when we first played, and I know sort of you got 5 in one of the matches. And I think the most difficult bowler in that series was Mohanty. Remember the Mohanty, medium pacer, and he was a gentle medium pacer. No real pace, but gentle, but very good, good areas. And that pitch really suited him really, really well. And he picked up 5 wickets. And because I played a lot of cricket with Ajay Jadeja in the under-19s, and we were friends. And in the evenings, he brought him to my room. And there's Ijaz Ahmed also sitting there. So he brought him to my room and he says, oh, isko thoda batana zara bowling ke bare mein. He just asked me to tell Mohanty. And I said, look, he's a youngster, I have to encourage him. And I said, look, you bowl really well and this, and just try to encourage him. And Ijaz goes, hold on. Ijaz goes, just wait, you coming to Lahore, na? And he goes, hopefully I picked up wicket, so I'll be there. He says, just then when you come to Lahore, then your cricket will start, okay? And as we go to Lahore, Ijaz got 143 in no time, I think under 100 balls or something like that on those days, and he smashed it everywhere. And Mohanty was the man who suffered. And then he said, this is what cricket is all about. That's not cricket you played. So
Adding to that story, we went in 2004 to Pakistan. I was captain for the first time in 15 years. And our first game was in Karachi. Waqar wasn't playing, and Pakistan had a good attack. Shoaib, Shami, there was Rana Naveed and a couple of other fast bowlers. We got 360 in 50 overs, batting first, and we had lost the game. We won it in the last over when Moin Khan needed 8 runs to win, and he couldn't get it. And Javed Miadad was the coach. He would have actually jumped from the balcony of Lahore. And I don't know whether you still remember the visuals. I was captaining and I was looking at Javed because he was telling Moin to move this side and Moin moved this side. So I was looking at him and telling Ashish ki ye is taraf hilega, usko udhar dalna. Because Javed was saying the same thing from the pavilion. And the reason I say this is because he spoke about Karachi where Ija smashed us. Pakistan is that sort of a country where You know, the wickets are the best in the world. They say in India you play on wickets, good wickets, but you must go to Pakistan and see as batsman. So, you know, very good friends with Inzi Bhai, Yusuf, and every time I meet them, यार आपके 10,000 रन बने हैं क्योंकि आपके विकेट्स इतने अच्छे हैं. So,
But, you know, Dada, you spoke about Toronto, and in 97, I remember we won the series 4-1. And all the man of the matches, most of them were Saurav Ganguly. 15 wickets, 222
All-rounder.
runs.
yeah. You know, but the most satisfying bit was I averaged 50 as a batsman on that wicket because it was a nightmare. It was damp and green, and you lose the toss in the morning and up against the best fast bowlers. You know, you had to be really, really lucky. You know, Ramiz was captain. Ramiz was captain of Pakistan, and you know, he's been a lovely ambassador to Pakistan cricket. He was the president. I remember in the fourth game, he walked down the stairs, and I was at the run-up, and he walked past me and said, "Aaj tujhe itna chakka marunga ki tu dekhna," and he said it nicely because he was a friend, and I got him out all the 3 games. You know, I just ran up and pitched it. It did something, and he kept nicking it. So he walked, and I could see him walking towards me. I said, "Ramiz bhai, mere paas kyun aa rahe yaar? Unko to udhar jana hai batting karne." So he walked past me and said, आज आपको मैं इतने मारूंगा ना, देखना 3 दफ़ा आपने मुझे आउट किया है, आज मैं सारा वापस लूंगा. मैंने कहा ठीक. And I was young boy, just started. So he went and took guard. I ran up, first ball, it seamed in. He played, went through the gate and hit the stumps. I didn't even look at him. And I looked straight at Sachin, who was in first slip. And Sachin said, "What happened?" And it was my second tour. I said, "You know, Ramiz is captain of Pakistan." He walked past me and said कि आपको इतने मारूंगा इस स्पेल में कि आप देखना, आपने मुझे बहुत दफ़े आउट कर दिया. तो मैंने कहा यार बॉल हाथ से छूटा, ऐसे अंदर ही चला गया. मैं तो सीधा ही डालने गया, गिर के अंदर ही चला गया. So it was these sort of wickets in Pakistan those days, and we won it 4-1. Inzamam made it a bit more popular in the last one day when he straight ran into the crowd. And you know, we were chasing that game, and I opened with Sachin. And Inzi Bhai is a fantastic human being, you know, one of the nicest, and his batting is like the person he is. You know, don't think Inzi was slow. It was a reflection of the person he was when he batted. And I saw Inzi Bhai coming from the stands. He walked. He didn't get a run on that tour because he was batting at number 3 and it was doing everything. So he walked past, and I thought he'll go to slip. He'll go and stand in slip. He went past slip. He kept going towards the boundary line. I thought he might be standing at third man. Ramiz must have told him. He didn't stop. He went over the fence. He went and straight caught a person out of the crowd, and we were all stunned for 10 minutes. Ki Inzi doing this? You cannot imagine Inzi doing this. You know, he would not even shout at somebody. Inzamam. So that's what India-Pakistan matches were, and these were my first experiences with these great players. Wasim, Waqar, Inzi. They were champions. Saeed Anwar, one of the finest left-handers I've seen bat for any country. So it was great.
Talking of Inzamam, he's a very humble guy if you don't upset him. Once you upset him, then he becomes a different beast altogether. Honestly, even if you, as a friend, and you know, you're with him, he's fine, everything's going cool, suddenly he will lose it. And you got to stay away from him because he becomes physical. So that day he went in the slips first, and then because somebody was in the crowd calling him Allu, then that famous Allu, and somebody was saying it again and again, and it was quite annoying, and he was on the speaker, and it was literally very annoying. And he, in the water break or drink break, called the 12th man and he said, "I want you to bring a bat at fine leg." Honestly, he said, "Bring the bat to the fine leg, so I want to go next over, I will go to the fine leg and I'll sort that guy out." So he actually, after next over, the bat, it was a junior guy who had to bring that bat, so he can't. So he went to the fine leg, and I don't know what he was thinking. Just ran up with the spikes on, with that, concrete sort of, steps up, and he could have fallen and he could have damaged himself, but he didn't care. And after that, we went to India tour. India tour. And now that was a very famous, because that whole thing went into court, the case and all that. And thanks to Sachin and Azhar, and they went there, and then the case was sorted. And then we went to India after that. And we were playing in Delhi. And there were only like 60,000 people, maybe. And they were all chanting, Allu, Allu, Allu. Imagine that. Imagine that. Honestly, it was tough.
Great stories, Waqar bhai. But let's talk a little bit about your debut as well, right? And famous debut. You could tell us why, right? It was two icons that debuted that day. It was you and Sachin. And tell us a little bit about your first encounter. Did you make him bleed?
I don't think both of us knew that we're going to end up as, the top of the ladder. He is actually really, really at the top, but nobody knew that. Nobody, because it was my first game, his first game. I was, 18, and he was only 15. And he looked 13, to be honest. And that was in Karachi, first game. We were on high. We played in Sharjah. We won the Sharjah Cup, and then we went to India. That mini World Cup. I don't know what they called. They were like all world, all good teams were there. We won that one also. So we came, and this was a first test in Karachi. And before that, when I played under 19, Jaddu and all of them, they were Nine Mongi, and all these guys were talking about this young Sachin. He didn't come on this tour because he had his matric exams or year 8 exams or something like that. It was like that. So he says he's something genius. He's amazing. He's this and that. Okay. So first tour, him, and literally, I'm not joking. He was just a baby coming on the pitch when he first walked in. And nobody could guess that he will turn out to be such a big player and big name and the icon, and you name anything about him, and he was that. And the way he batted, he was nervous. He was very nervous, and we were on top. We got early wickets. He walked in, and it was a flat wicket, I sort of mentioned. It was a little bit grass to start off, but it just went flat very, very quickly. And Karachi, you can't get people out. You can't. Simple as that. That match was drawn after that. Although we picked up early wickets and everything we did was right. But once it goes flat, it goes really flat. So he comes in with his, helmet, no visor, nothing of that kind, that straight pads, and a little baby walking onto the... I literally said it to a couple of the guys, and I said, "Oh, man, he's going to get hit. He's going to get hit." But yeah, he played a couple of really beautiful shots. He's in his own interviews, he's talked about that how nervous he was. You could tell from his face then also. But he played a couple of straight drive to me and one to Wasim Akram, and it showed that he had got the class. It's a matter of time. He needs time with the crease, and he'll be fine. Yeah, I got him out eventually, cleaned him up, but then he played all these test matches. He scored a 50 in the last test match in Sialkot, or maybe 40 or 50, something like that. But there he showed his actual class, because he was aggressive, he played positively, and the rest is history. You all know what he did after that.
Dada, you've had some amazing performances against Pakistan. Is there one standout performance that is very close to your heart?
I think my double 100 in Bangalore in a test match. I got 239 against Pakistan in Bangalore. That will always remain very, very, very close to me, because we grew up in an era where test cricket was the pinnacle. I still think it is. I know a lot of us enjoy watching T20 cricket. T20 cricket and all the white ball and the sixes and fours, but real quality was when you played test cricket. As a bowler, as a batsman, for Wasim and Waqar, bowling after tea, after a whole day of bowling, that's where the real quality and excellence came in. So that's probably one of my better knocks against Pakistan. Few hundreds in one-day cricket in Adelaide, in Lahore. I got a 90 in Karachi when I went there for the first time. It's been good. The bowling also was good. And I kept bowling a lot against them. But it was always two teams of the highest quality. In those days, in the 90s and in early 2000, England and Australia coming to India, they couldn't do much. Because with the spinning ball and dusty pitches, with the reverse, they struggled. But here were both teams who were used to those conditions, used to those flat pitches, turning pitches, and great quality bowling. It was not just Wasim and Waqar, what came after that. There was Shoaib for a while, there was Razak, then there were spinners, Mushtaq Ahmed and Saqlain Mushtaq. So there was just quality all over. With India, there was excellent batting. We did not have the high quality fast bowlers in that generation. It slowly started coming after that. We had Srinath who bowled quick, but we always had great spinners. Whether it's Kumble, Harbhajan, Ashwin, the spinners were great in both the teams. So it was a series of the highest caliber when India played Pakistan, and pre my era as captain, we could hardly beat them. You remember the Javed Miadad, the six in Sharjah, Waqar's bowling in Sharjah on those flat pitches, getting the ball to reverse. You could see that they were ahead of India because they had the bowlers to pick wickets. But things slowly changed after that. With Waqar finishing, Wasim finishing. You don't get replacements like this. They're once in a lifetime, once in a generation cricketer. So that's... And then we started playing better than them. If you see for the last 15, 16 years, and with due respect I say that, India has had the better of Pakistan, which was not the case before. And it was simply because they didn't have that quality. Waqar, Wasim, Javed, Inzamam, Yusuf, Saeed Anwar, there were some fantastic batsmen and bowlers. So it's been two teams of the highest quality playing white ball and red ball. None of us played T20 cricket for our country because it was before us, before our generation. But the quality of bowling and batsmanship was amazing. I remember my first tour in 2004 to Pakistan, a full tour as captain. It was a fascinating series. The quality of cricket, people watching the game, the interest about India coming to Pakistan. It cannot be a better series when India plays Pakistan. You play Australia, you play England. I don't know how the Ashes are. They hype it up a lot in England, and it's a big thing for both the countries. But the quality of cricket and the excitement of the India-Pakistan Test series, one-day series is beyond anything.
And for me, one of my personal favorites is, you mentioned the Independence Cup. Pakistan had scored, I think, in around 48 overs, 300 plus runs, and we had to chase that. And you got 100.
Yeah, I got 100. Sachin played well. I don't think Waqar was there that game. Akib was there, and Saeed Anwar smashed India again. He used to score a lot of runs against India at the top of the order. And cricket was a bit different, Cricket was not as modern, as new as it is now. Every stadium, every ground, you look at grounds in India, they're fascinating, the best facilities, the lights, the pitches. I remember playing in Dhaka and they did not have proper lights. They did not have proper lights, and I don't know what the rule was. The game went beyond time, and in the east, the sun goes down very quickly. It was winter. It was January, February in Calcutta, in Dhaka. It gets dark by 3:30. So it was actually dark. And we were playing. I remember batting against Akib, and sometimes I didn't see the ball, and they put on the football lights. There were football lights in that ground, and somehow we managed to win. So that was my beginning. It's early '97, beginning of performances against Pakistan. And then kept playing them over and over again. We played Pakistan a lot during our time. And then it stopped after 2010 and 11. But as I said, it was fantastic cricket. And a lot of good friends, a lot of good memories. When you played against each other, carried them off the field. You don't get to see them very often, but like I met Waqar after a long time. And you can see the friendship and some fascinating memories of playing together.
Excellent. Wakar bhai, any one memory that stands out for you in a competition against India?
Bangalore, quarterfinals. World Cup.
And now I know why Wakar got hit. Because he says Jadeja is his best friend.
Yeah.
Because I have seen Wakar very rarely get hit.
Yeah.
And he kept on bowling half volleys to Jadeja, so he must have been a friend.
So, I think the two standout moments from that match, right? One was the whole.
That's also a memory.
I agree.
I take that as a memory and sort of learning curve. But yeah, that game was some game actually. We probably were a very good side then, that 96 period and 99 also. But Jadeja's inning was just superb. And then after that even, I'll tell you a small story because I got hammered by Ajay Jadeja right at the end. I bowled 8 really quality, good overs, where I've given, I think, 28 runs in 8 overs and end up something like 60 in 10. So the 2 overs cost me something like 40 runs. It was ridiculous. But yeah, so we went out. We should have bowled India out for around about 200, nothing more than that. And they end up 260 odd. So went back and I thought, I'm done. Somebody's going to kill me back home when I go back because if we lose this match, this is all blame coming on me. So I was really disappointed and just lying down, on the floor. Suddenly, the match started. Saeed Anwar, Amir Sohail, the things have started changing. First 10 overs, 100 on the board, no wicket down. And I said, okay, damage has been recovered. So it's all good now, good. And there you go. Amir Sohail played that shot against Prasad, and the whole thing started going down again. Yeah. So that's World Cups for us against India. Never won in a World Cup 50-over game. So that is playing on our minds also. But yeah, over the years, as Saurav said, there are so many great memories, so many good friends. It doesn't matter what happens on the field. Even he thrashed me on the field that day. We were just in the evenings, we were together, having fun, having, good time together. So those days were amazing. Cricket has definitely changed. It's modernized. T20 cricket has really changed. The face of the game is a lot faster now. Different fitness probably required now. Our days we used to run, and that's all. Never been to gym in my life. Things have changed, but for good. I feel there are a lot of goods now come. Cricket has come to US now, so that's even better. I've taken a couple of 5-wicket hauls against India in the ODIs. Unfortunately, played a very little against India in the test matches. I played for 4 test matches in all. 2 in the beginning, in my debut game, 2 test matches then, and 2 right at the end when I was done, literally done. So I didn't play, but played a lot of one-day cricket. Sharjah Cup was on, a lot of Sharjah Cup. And then after that Bangalore test, that game where Jadeja hit me. So I just wanted to get him out one day. Just wanted to get Jadeja out, just somehow. And the very next tour was Sharjah. And he came up the order because he scored runs, so now he got promotion, so he's come up the order. So I got him out in the very first over. I cleaned him up, off stump, out of the park. But I tell you, it was not the same feeling. It was not the same feeling, what I was expecting. But yeah, great memories. I mean, India-Pakistan cricket, I would say, it is the best cricket. So I've said, the Ashes, I don't believe that. I don't believe any other cricket. When Pakistan-India playing, you cannot really match that cricket with any other cricket.
So, big game tomorrow. It's the World Cup. Whether it's the ODI or the T20, India-Pakistan clash is the biggest game of the tournament, right? 2003. Let's talk about that. Both of you all were captaining each other, your respective sides, right?
Yeah.
South Africa, Centurion? Yeah? So tell us a little bit about that game, and is there any kind of pressure that you feel before the game? Is there any form of rivalry that you feel before the game, or is it just
Feel? Feel is a small word.
Obviously Waqar said that he felt pressure, and I say this honestly, and holding my hand to my heart, I never felt any pressure, because I did not go into play as if I was playing Pakistan. Somehow I got my mind to train that if I have to play for India 10 years, 15 years, I have to score runs against everyone. Pakistan, Australia, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, South Africa. And somehow I managed to get that out of my system. I remember the 2003 World Cup in Centurion. We were staying at the Hilton, and in the morning, it was a day game. In the morning, I opened my curtains about 6:30 in the morning. The entire area around the hotel was full, and Indian flags waving. So I said, oh God, now it's an India-Pakistan game. I went into the ground. It was full before the game started. He was captain. We shook hands. I won the toss and put Pakistan to bat, and they got 270, which was a big score with that bowling attack. And in those days, because there was no 2 white balls, they could have had 5 fielders outside. Now you have to have 5 fielders in the ring. A lot of times you have 2 white balls, so you actually have that new ball as a batsman. And it was not easy those days. Firstly, with the number 6, 7 coming, the ball would get softer, and the old ball you have Wasim and Waqar. So as I said, new ball was hard, old ball was harder. And they got 270, but we got off to a fantastic start. Good wicket. The ball kept flying all around. And by the time anything happened, 7 or 8 overs, Sehwag and Sachin had put 80 or 90 on the board, if I am correct. So the match opened up.
Sachin got 98.
So there was no pressure. Sachin got 95. Waqar got me out the first ball.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought in Bangalore. When Amir Sohail and them put 110 overs, and I thought, okay, it's okay now. But it didn't work for us.
Waqar got me out the first ball. I keep meeting Rudy Kudson after that. I said, if the DRS was there, it was pitching outside leg stump. Rudy said, rubbish. It pitched middle and hit middle. I said, no, Rudy. If DRS was there, I would have not got out. But it was a joke, but fantastic game of cricket. And I remember the game finished. We won 5 overs to spare. And we were in the dressing room because we didn't start the World Cup well. The first game we managed to beat, I think, Netherlands. Somehow managed to beat Netherlands and then lost to Australia the first game. And the country went berserk. India went berserk, people throwing stones at his house, his car. And I remember we had to huddle together in a meeting and say, and someone like Kaif was very upset because his house got stoned and he was very angry. He said, we come to play cricket, you can't do this to us. But we turned it around. And we won 9 in a row to get to the World Cup final and losing to Australia. So that was a great memory. Again, Saeed Anwar got 100. We got fed up of seeing Saeed Anwar getting hundreds against us. So he again got 100. Inzi Bhai got run out. Inzi Bhai got... The number of times he's got run out, I said, and every time I met Inzi Bhai, आपके पास इतनी talent है, आप आराम से छक्के चौके मारते हो, भागने की क्या ज़रूरत है यार? And I don't know whether Waqas heard this story with Inzamam. And he was batting in England, and the ball hit his pad. It was a World Cup game. The ball hit his pad, and Inzi Bhai was about to take a run, and he fell. He fell down. He slipped, and he did not see the non-striker. And I think the non-striker was Wasim Akram, and he was next to Inzi. So Inzi took a little bit of time to get up. And normally what happens when you're in a run out, you panic. So Inzi turned up to Wasim and said, Wasim bhai, aap idhar kya kar rahe? And by then Wasim was gone. And Wasim was run out, and only Inzi could do that. And that's why I love him. And I don't get to meet him. He came to Calcutta in 2004. After we went to Pakistan, we had a test match in Calcutta. So I said, Inzi bhai, aap Calcutta aaye hain. मेरे घर से रोज आपको खाना बना के भेजूंगा. But he came with his family, a young family, and he was such a gentleman. I remember, in the Bangalore test, Inzi was captain and Shoaib was bowling. Shoaib had a huge run-up. And every session, Pakistan would be 3 overs, 4 overs down. So I got 100 and I was standing at the other end. So Inzi comes up to Shoaib and says, Shoaibi, itna samay lagega to mujhe khelne hi nahi denge, in his gentle manner, because he was down every session and as a captain he was fined, and if you do keep repeating you get banned for a game. So Shoaib, as usual, did not listen. So I met Shoaib after the game. I said, यार तू कप्तान का सुनता क्यों नहीं है? हाँ बेचारा हर सेशन में 3-4 ओवर डाउन है, because I have been captain, I understand. कुछ तो कर. He said, मैं इंजी भाई को बोल बोल के थक गया हूँ कि अब Boeing 737 needs a runway to fly. हाँ, मैंने कहा शोएबी, इसके बाद मेरा कोई जवाब ही नहीं है. तू और इंजी भाई सॉर्ट आउट कर लेना. So you know, we competed. We played the highest form of cricket. I know we had pressures to win. We won at times, we lost at times. The country got mad, people got mad. But the relationship among the players was fantastic. And they really had some characters. And a lot of it, you know, and I say that to all of you here, is because the quality of players Pakistan had.
Yeah.
You know, when you looked at Inzi, when you looked at Yusuf, when you looked at Yunus, when you looked at Waqar, Wazeem, Saeed Anwar, you could see just absolute brilliance on a cricketing field. And that's why when we used to play them, as a captain, we used to say, ki thoda ghas chhod dena yaar. And Sachin and Rahul would come up to me, yaar, they have the best bowling attack and आप बोलते हो घास छोड़ दे. मैंने कहा हम आउट कैसे करेंगे उनको? हमारे पास तो ना वकार है ना वजीम है. हमारे पास जो बॉलिंग है हमको तो आउट करना पड़ेगा. अगर तुम मोहंती को घास नहीं दोगे, तुम मोहंती को लाहौर दोगे, तो कहाँ से वो आउट करेगा यार? So that's the way we played against them. And I always said that if you want to beat Pakistan, you play on green pitches. Don't play on flat pitches, because they'll bat you out of the game, and they've got fantastic bowlers to exploit flat pitches. They were by far a better bowling side than us. Not now, but in our generation. In our generation, they were by far a better bowling attack. And they used to produce 90 miles an hour like apples and oranges every day. You know, एक बार कभी मोहम्मद शामी दिख गया, कभी शोएब दिख गया. Then they had another fast bowler I saw. I keep forgetting his name. He was a tall guy, Zahid. He finished his career with a stress fracture. वो भी तेज डाल रहा है. मैंने कहा यार एक आधा टूर में किसी स्लो वाले को भेज दो. कभी आकिब को भेज दो, कभी सलीम जाफर जैसे किसी को भेज दो कि हम शांति से खेल सके. And I used to ask सेवा कि तेरे बाल कैसे चले गए इतनी जल्दी? कैसा जब से आपने पाकिस्तान के सामने मुझे ओपन कराया, और वो 300 करता था. मुल्तान में 300, कराची में 200. कहते जब से आपने ओपन कराया मेरे सारे बाल चले गए ओपन करके. So that's how good their fast bowlers were.
So Waqar bhai, you know, close to 800 odd wickets in international cricket. Now, the minute we think about the Yorker, your name pops up, right? It's a ball that's not used that much, right? And in the T20 format, how can we ensure, like, what is the delivery do you think it's a delivery that should be used a lot more than it is currently? What's the reason why bowlers don't use it as much?
I think T20 cricket is very difficult. It's not that easy to get the ball reversed, because pitches are like, especially in USA, I think you will hardly see a reverse swing, because the pitches have got a lot more grass and a lot more bounce in this. You need a dry conditions for that. And I think more in 50-over cricket and maybe red ball cricket, they still exist. But I think to be more successful, you need to have certain action, and then you have to have a pace. Pace is the key factor. And then if you got a side-on action, then you become lethal. As you've seen Malingas, and now you see, there are so many good. Shami is a very good bowler. Very good when it's reversing. He's really, really good. So reverse swing is the condition of the ball also, and you get into in certain in situation, then the ball start reversing, and then there are methods how you bowl, to the left-hander differently and to the right-hander differently. So it's an art, I feel, and you got to have right tools to be effective.
I look at it differently because I've been involved with the IPL of late for the last 2 years after I finished my BCCI presidentship. And Bumrah bowls it. Bumrah bowls it consistently. I think it's about practice. And I see a lot of coaches, the bowling coaches around, and I don't know whether Wasim Wakar would agree with me or not. I see a lot of other variations, the slower bouncer, the wide delivery. James Hopes is our bowling coach. I told him at the start of the season, I said, James, I hear everything. The slower bouncer, bowl wide, bowl here. Why can't we keep it simple and just do what Bumrah does, straight and full under pressure? Let them hit you for a six.
Yeah.
How can you get away with a length ball under pressure? How many times will you get away with a slower delivery under pressure? Maybe once, maybe twice, but a good batsman will put you in the stands with the size of the boundary these days. So I think players don't practice that skill enough, and I'm sure, obviously I used to only see Wakar in matches. I haven't seen him, what he does off the field and when he was young and when he practiced, Wasim and Wakar, because they mastered the art of bowling Yorkers at the death. And there were quite a few in that generation. There was Glenn McGrath who did it. There was Freddie Flintoff who did it. Malinga did it. Zaheer Khan did it. Now Bumrah does it. Shami does it. So I really feel that in modern day T20 cricket, you need to go back to the old system of bowling full and straight. Because the hardest ball is to hit when it's in the stumps. I see coaches saying ki bowl wide Yorkers. Ek na ek lag hi jata hai, because you give the width, you allow the batsman to free the arms. But when you bowl full and straight like Bumrah does, Bumrah goes at 6.5 in T20 cricket. There are games when oppositions have scored 220, 230 and Bumrah finished 4 overs for 20. It's like gold. It's like gold. So I think that skill is slowly going, that mindset is slowly going, and we don't keep it simple and we try different things. And I think that's where the problem lies, that you need to master the art of bowling Yorkers in modern day cricket.
एक बात तो सौरभ पक्की है कि बुमराह जैसे बॉलर बहुत रेयर आते हैं जिस तरह का उसका एक्शन है और जिस तरह का उसका हाइपर एक्सटेंशन है और जिस तरह का उसका माइंड है. is such a smart bowler. I've not seen many fast bowlers that smart what the way he operates with a short run up. इस तरह का the kind of whip he has got, and then on top of that he exactly know what he's doing. He's got seam landing perfectly. You see those ultra slow motions and you see how good he presents the seam going this way or going that way, and that is amazing. I mean, and that is not happening just now. It's been happening for last 3-4 seasons now. So at a very early in his career, before injury, he knew exactly what he was doing. India should feel blessed that he's come back from the injury, because his kind of action he's got is he's put a lot of load on his back and hip. So him coming back into the international, I think is going to really help India going forward.
So tomorrow is going to be the 16th encounter, India versus Pakistan in World Cup, right? Mixing T20 and ODIs together. We've come on top on most of them, except the one that we lost pretty badly in Dubai in 2021. Any predictions for the game tomorrow? What do you think is going to be the key?
You got the answer, didn't you?
No, but just some analysis around what do you think is going to be the key tomorrow?
From my point of view, Pakistan has the best chance in T20. Because the shorter the game, the difference becomes, you see the other day they lost to America, but obviously Pakistan is a much, much better side than the result, what has happened on that day. For me, it was just an accident. You saw South Africa somehow get past Netherlands today. Afghanistan beat New Zealand and beat them by a mile. They were 85, 86 all out. And Afghanistan is a good side. And I'm not comparing Afghanistan with USA. Afghanistan has some serious talent.
Yeah.
So it's not the right comparison. But I think it's going to be a good game tomorrow. I hope they give a good wicket, because what I'm seeing, I haven't seen a game at all because I don't watch cricket that much. I only see the scores. So I've been seeing the numbers, 100, 110, 120. You don't have T20 World Cups for those numbers. People come to watch because you want to see sixes, you want to see fours. Like in IPL, 240 is also not defendable. on those flat pitches, the way it goes. So that's what you want to see in T20 cricket. And I feel both have an equal chance. If the wicket is little difficult, Pakistan has a better chance. If it's a flat wicket, it'll probably get a bit more difficult for them. But it's even Stevens for both.
Look, the recent past is pretty ordinary, Pakistan, to be honest. I'm going to be very honest here. But there's one thing about Pakistan. Whenever you push them in the corner, they feel it and they come hard. You know, they might just, get rolled over for nothing, but they will come hard. They will look to sort of play their best cricket tomorrow. And if they start well, start is always crucial for Pakistan. I've seen, even when we won in 2021, I think there was the start which Pakistan had, early wickets, even the Champions Trophy final, early start. You pick up early wickets, you put pressure on India. I think that's if Pakistan get a good start, they have a fair chance. I wouldn't say 50-50, I would say India favorite, for sure. Yeah, I would not write off Pakistan. That is one thing. Don't write them off. They will come hard. They're hurting from the previous game from the USA. They played a very ordinary cricket and they know that. And I'm sure they're going to wake up on the right side of the bed and play some good cricket tomorrow.
Also for me, it's a do or die game for them. If they don't turn up, they're out of this World Cup. Because USA has won 2 games. USA will play, I think they beat Ireland. They're playing Ireland. Ireland has not been in the best of form, so it's a must-win game for Pakistan because of the loss to USA. So they'll have to switch on if they have to beat India. And the difference between the side of 2021 and this one is that this team bats very deep. Akshar Patel is at 8. And when you speak to Rohit, I've met him a few times during the IPL. This is something which he wanted to do in T20 cricket. Bat deep so that you can play freely at the top. The problem with India in T20 at times is they don't take that risk early on, especially in the power play in those 6 overs. I think the depth they have with Akshar at 8, it will allow them to do that, or they must do that. They might be 20 for 2, but it doesn't matter because they have Akshar Patel coming at 8 who can hit the ball. So that's how they should play. But the advantage for India is that they're a better side than they were in 2021, and they've come after playing 14, 15, some of them who went to the finals have played 16 T20 matches one after the other. And it's very important because it's a different format. You have to keep hitting. The training, the way of playing is different. And I think that's an advantage. I mean, Pakistan's also played. They were in England. They played those 3 matches against England T20. But India has come after a series of T20 matches. And they are in this T20 mode. It's not easy when you come from Test cricket and straight away get to T20 because the game needs different skills. Yeah. And I think that's the advantage India has this World Cup.
Great. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to both of you. We'll end this segment. We'll end this segment with both of you asking one tough question about yourself, and we'll open it up for to the audience to answer that. Whoever gets the right answer gets to come up and get a signed bat and a photograph with both of you.
I think Saurav can ask this question because the question I was going to ask, I've already answered all those.
Okay, so you want me to ask a tough question, okay? About myself, is it?
Yeah, anything about your career that a true fan should know.
Okay, now, obviously I've been a batsman who bowled on green pitches. Tell me who was my first Test wicket?
Has to be the Englishman.
So anyone...
It's a tough question you said, so... Huh? One at a time, one at a time. You put your hand up. He's right.
Come up here. come on the stage. Yeah. Waqar bhai, you want to ask a question as well? Let's get one more.
Okay. Same question. Who's my first test wicket? Don't Google it, please.
So you want to answer?
Don't Google it. People just started looking at the phones.
Was it Navjot Sidhu?
No. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, Waqar bhai. Excuse me. Shivi, get it signed by Go. Yeah. Get Waqar bhai to sign it as well. Yeah, come on.
Sanjay Manjarikar is the question.
Get the bag. Inshallah.
You know, Waqar was talking about Googling. He's the founder of Cricinfo, so he's supposed to know who Waqar's first wicket.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dada. Thank you, Waqar bhai. Thank you, all of you. I hope you all have had a good time. Enjoy the game tomorrow and hope we come on top.
You know, before me and Waqar leaves, I just want to thank Munish for having us here. You know, I've known Munish for a long period. He's an absolute gentleman. And I'm sure with Dream Set Go, you have already, and probably some of you have been around before as well, you have got the best experience to watch cricket all around the world. Not just cricket, it's the Olympics, it's the football and any other sports which Munish is involved with. And he's looked after me superbly. You know, my first trip to New York after 15 years, and it's been spick and span. And I'm sure with Munish and his team, you'll get the best experience of watching cricket matches. Doesn't matter who wins tomorrow. Someone will win, someone will lose, but hopefully you enjoy it. You've all come from different parts of America. Some of you must have come from Bombay as well, from India, and I've met a few of you. So you enjoy the game tomorrow. I hope it's a good game. You know, it's not a 110, 120 game. It's a 160, 170 game. So you have a good Sunday out. That's more important.
Thank you so much, Waqar bhai.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
I hope you guys had a good evening.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for coming.
And just before we end, you know, no captain is good enough without his team. So big round of applause to my team to help me put this together. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.